ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। छे गोसाई जबे ब्रज कोइलवास राधा कृष्ण नित्य लीला कोरिया प्रकाश। तादेर चरण से भी भक्त सनिवास जन्म मोय अभिलाष। These verses are written by Srila Narottam Das Thakur in glorification of the six Goswamis. Very beautiful verses. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath. All glories to Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Bhatta Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath. Shri Jiva Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Das Raghunath Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami. So all six Goswamis are mentioned. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath. श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। छे गोसाई जबे ब्रज कोइलवास राधा कृष्ण नित्य लीला कोरिला प्रकाश। When these six Goswamis they lived in Vrindavan, after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent them to Sri Vrindavan Dham, these six Goswamis of Vrindavan they lived together in Sri Vrindavan Dham. And what was the effect? छे गोसाई जबे ब्रज कोइलवास, when they lived in Vrindavan, Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koriya Prakash. They presented to the whole world the eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila. Nitya Lila that we cannot see. It is Aprakat Lila, Korila Prakash. But they showed it to us through their writings. Hare Krishna. Through their writings, through the deities and the temples that they established. Very beautiful glorification. And then Tadera Charana se bhi bhakta sanivas janame janame mohe abhilash. What is my Abhilash, what is my desire? What is my hope? Birth after birth. Janame janame moy abhilash. What is my desire? तादेरा चरण से भी भक्त सनेवास. I want bhakta sanevas. I want the association of devotees. What type of devotees? Tadera charana sevi. So Narottam Thakur is telling the six Goswamis that those devotees who worship your feet, those devotees who serve the lotus feet of the six Goswamis, I want association of such devotees. Means I want to become the servant of the six Goswamis. Tadera charana sevi bhakta sanevas janame moy ei abhilash. I don't have any other desire. Shri Narottam Thakur ki jai. Shri Shad Goswami Pad ki jai. So let's begin today's discussion, my dear friends. It's going to be a free-flowing narration because I could not prepare properly. I just came back from the hospital and just had my lunch, and I'm sitting before all of you. So just few days ago we celebrated Srila Sanatan Goswami's disappearance day, Shri Guru Purnima, and therefore I would like to speak few words in glorification of Srila Sanatan Goswami. And my sincere gratitude to all of you, all the devotees of ISKCON Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for organizing this once a month Sunday Harikatha. Thank you for accepting service from me. Thank you for engaging in your service. And I remember, I think it was 2.5 years ago that I had the good fortune of visiting all of you in Fort Lauderdale. And we had 2 sessions on the glories of Srila Sanatan Goswami. So I will not be touching those pastimes that we discussed in Fort Lauderdale of Srila Sanatan Goswami, but I would like to speak on some other theme of Srila Sanatan Goswami's life and teachings. So Srila Sanatan Goswami, he is our Sambandha Acharya. In spiritual life, there are 3 things. There is Sambandha, there is Abhideya, and there is Prayojan. Sambandha means to understand our relationship with Krishna. Abhideya means the process that is required to realize that relationship. For example, if the relationship of a devotee is in the Manjari Bhav, if a devotee is eternally a Manjari, a maid servant of Srimati Radharani, eternally 11 years old, that's the typical age of the Manjaris. So if one devotee is a Manjari in Goloka Vrindavan eternally, and serving the Ashtasakhi, serving Srimati Radharani, serving Krishna in the Nikunjas of Shri Vrindavan Dham, to understand that I am such and such Manjari is Sambandha Gyan. It is the relationship knowledge that Srila Sanatan Goswami exemplifies and teaches us as he is Acharya, the teacher of the Sambandha Gyan, our relationship with Krishna, eternal relationship. Abhideya is the process to achieve that relationship, which is the process of gaining knowledge about Krishna, understanding the Bhakti Siddhanta of the Krishna consciousness philosophy, understanding what is the process of chanting, what is the process of hearing, what is the process of worshipping. All these principles is Abhideya, the process of realizing the Sambandha. And the Acharya, the teacher for Abhideya, the process of devotional service, is Srila Rupa Goswami. Why is that? Srila Sanatan Goswami, he wrote the book Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrit, which our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada's printing house, BBT, Shri Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, has printed this book, Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrit. And Srila Prabhupada's very illustrious disciple, His Grace Gopi Pranadhana Prabhu, he has translated this very beautiful book. All of us must have this book. After studying Srila Prabhupada's books, mainly 5 or 6 books of Srila Prabhupada we all must study. Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, which is Upadeshamrit and Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, respectively. Bhagavad Gita as it is, the 18 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam and the 9 volumes of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. These 5 books and Ishopanishad, we must all study Srila Prabhupada's books. Of course, there are other books also, Science of Self-Realization, Life Comes from Life, Second Chance, Teachings of Queen Kunti, Teachings of Kapila. They're very beautiful books and we should read them. But these 5 or 6 books are the most prominent books of Srila Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, and Ishopanishad. Then there is one book of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which we must all read, and that is the Brahma Samhita. Shri Brahma Samhita, very important book of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada. And then, after reading these 7 books, we must read the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, of Srila Sanatana Goswami. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Srila Sanatana Goswami systematically explains to us what is a Sambandha Gyan through the story of Gop Kumar. Gop Kumar is a boy in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and his journey is described by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Sequential journey, how he realizes that eternally I am associate of Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. Going through the different planets, going through Vaikuntha planets, going through Ayodhya, going through Dwarka, finally reaching Goloka Vrindavan. So this is Sambandha Gyan, that ultimately Jivara Swarup hai Krishna Nityadas. So this Srila Sanatana Goswami explains. But Srila Rupa Goswami, among the many books that he wrote Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the systematic knowledge of performing devotional service. What are the limbs of devotional service? 64 limbs of devotional service. What are the different seva aparads? What are the different offenses? Sima Mataji, I will send you in audio message on WhatsApp. I'll send you the names of all the books. Hare Krishna. So, Srila Rupa Goswami systematically explains the process of devotional service. Systematically. And how devotional service is to be performed, and everything is explained in Srila Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or the Nectar of Devotion, is the manual for all devotees, all Gaudiya Vaishnava devotees. Also, Srila Rupa Goswami gave us systematic instructions how we should live, how we should deal with devotees, how we should differentiate between different grades of devotees, how we should interact with them, how we should offer respects to them through Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction. Is it not? Therefore, Rupa Goswami is our Abhidaya Acharya. He teaches the process very systematically. And then our Prayojan Acharya. Prayojan Acharya is Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. And Prayojan means to live a life in full realization of our Siddha Swarup. So we have 2 Swarup. We have Sadhak Swarup and we have Siddha Swarup. Sadhak Swarup is what we see now. This is Sadhak Swarup. We are chanting. We are reading, we are hearing, we are serving, doing Vaishnava Seva. This is all sadhana bhakti. There are 5 limbs of devotional service. Isn't it? We all know that verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. There are 5 limbs of devotional service mainly. There are 64 limbs as mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami. But Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned that there are 5 limbs which are most important according to Srila Rupa Goswami. What are these 5 limbs? नाम कीर्तन, साधु संग, भागवत श्रवण, मथुरावास, श्रीमूर्तिर श्रद्धाय सेवन. Yes. So it is Nama Kirtan, chanting the names of Krishna. Nama Kirtan, Sadhu Sangha, Vaishnava Sangha, associating with devotees, serving devotees. That's number 2. Nama Kirtan, Sadhu Sangha, Bhagavat Shravana, hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, in all ISKCON centers, all ISKCON temples, there must be a Srimad Bhagavatam class every morning. It's part of the morning program. We chant for 2 hours. We do our Mangalarti, Narsimharti, Shikshashtakam prayers, Tulsi Arti, and we hear Srimad Bhagavatam. It is one of the 5 most important limbs of devotional service according to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is called Panchanga Bhakti. Pancha means 5, Anga means limbs, and Bhakti means devotional service. So devotional service stands on these 5 limbs, and we must hold on to these 5 limbs and never let go. Nama Kirtan, Vaishnava Seva, Bhagavat Shravana, Mathura Vasa, living in Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada, when his health deteriorated, he went to Vrindavan. Every time Srila Prabhupada's health would deteriorate, he would go to Vrindavan. From Rishikesh, he went to Vrindavan. From London, he went to Vrindavan. From USA, when he got a stroke, he came to Vrindavan. And finally, from Mumbai, he came to Vrindavan. That was his last travel. And then in 1977, Srila Prabhupada left this world from Sri Vrindavan. Before becoming a Jagat Guru, Acharya, Srila Prabhupada stayed for many years in Vrindavan, performing intense bhajan. One doesn't become an Acharya just like that without performing bhajan. One has to become completely self-realized. Who am I in the spiritual world? What is my name? What is my service? What is my relationship with Krishna? How do I look? What is my dress? There are 11 characteristics. Ekadasha bhav, it is said. Self-realization means what? To understand one's eternal form in the spiritual world. That is called Swarup Siddhi. That is called self-realization. And this includes 11 characteristics of our Siddha Deha. Sadhak Deha, that what we are performing devotional service, and Siddha Deha is our eternal form in the spiritual world. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhyaka Bunoy Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Korye Uday. We all have an eternal form in the spiritual world. We don't know it. But this form will rise on the horizon of our consciousness. Shravan Adi. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. When you practice the limbs of bhakti, Shravan Adi, Shuddha Chitti, and you become purified. Therefore, during Japa, we are always praying, meditating on the first verse of Shikshashtakam, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Krishna, please purify me. Purification is very important, my dear friends. Koriye Uday. When you become purified through the practice of devotional service, then the Siddha Swarup will rise and Krishna will reveal it to us. Nityananda Prabhu reveals it. Lord Balram reveals it to us. So that is a Siddha Swarup. Abhideya is the process of practicing devotional service, and Prayojan, that Srila Raghunath Das Goswami teaches us, is to perform loving exchanges with Krishna, have loving relationships with Krishna and Krishna's devotees in our Siddha Swarup, the stage of perfection. That is called Prayojan. So Sambandha is knowledge of relationship, Abhideya is the process of realizing that relationship, and Prayojan is what we do when we have already realized that relationship. That Srila Raghunath Das Goswami teaches and exemplifies. And he wrote Vilap Kusumanjali. What is he wrote Stavavali book. Part of that book is one poetry is Vilap Kusumanjali. And just this morning I was hearing one lecture of my Guru Maharaj, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and he was saying that Srila Raghunath Das Goswami's Vilap Kusumanjali is the zenith, is the highest literature that one can read. And in that, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is just expressing his intense lalasa, his intense hankering and longing to serve Srimati Radharani. When will I apply the red alta on the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani? When will I assist her in getting ready to meet Krishna? When will I follow behind her as Srimati Radharani, accompanied by Lalita, Vishakha, Adi, Sakhis, goes from Barsana to Nandagaon to cook breakfast for Krishna? When will Radharani give me her uchishta, her remnants to eat? So all these hankerings, all these longings are expressed by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami in Vilap Kusumanjali, because he is writing those in his Siddha Swarup, as Rati Manjari. So Srila Raghunath Das in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also instructs Raghunath Das Goswami that you do mana seva. You serve Radha and Krishna through your mind, and through the mind you become your Siddha Swarup, what you are eternal in the spiritual world, and in your Siddha Deha you perform direct service to Radha and Krishna. That is Prayojan. And Raghunath Das Goswami used to do it for hours and hours. Manasi Seva. But today we are going to talk about Srila Sanatana Goswami, our Sambandha Acharya. And the theme for today's discussion is Srila Sanatana Goswami's interactions with the different Goswamis in Vrindavan. When I came to Fort Lauderdale, we spoke about Sanatana Goswami's interactions with different devotees and with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. Then Sanatana Goswami's pastimes can be divided into his pastimes in Ramakeli, his pastimes when he was going from Bengal to Varanasi, where he met Mahaprabhu, his pastimes in Varanasi, which is 3 chapters of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. And then Sanatana Goswami's initial trip to Vrindavan Dham, when he stayed with Shubhuti Rai, and that is another discussion. And then Sanatana Goswami's travel from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri and staying for 10 months with Mahaprabhu, and then coming back to Vrindavan from Jagannath Puri, that's another discussion. But today we will discuss about his different interactions when he came back to Vrindavan. And we will discuss Sanatana Goswami's interactions with devotees in Vrindavan Dham. We will talk about his interaction with Rupa Goswami. We'll talk about his interactions with Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. We'll talk about Srila Sanatana Goswami's interactions with Srila Jiva Goswami. And if time permits, we'll talk about Srila Sanatana Goswami's interaction with the Brajvasis in general. Okay, so we'll get started. Hare Krishna. There are interactions of Srila Sanatana Goswami with Jagadananda Pandit also, but those we discussed last time when I came to Fort Lauderdale. So we'll not talk about those today. So Srila Sanatana Goswami was the guru of Srila Rupa Goswami. And therefore in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu introduction, Srila Rupa Goswami offers his respects to Srila Sanatana Goswami as his guru. Says that Sanatana Goswami is my guru. So Sanatana Goswami has such an important role to play. We are supposed to be Rupanugas, followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. But Srila Rupa Goswami's spiritual master is Srila Sanatana Goswami. So because he was a spiritual master of Srila Sanatana Goswami, he had that relationship of authority with Srila Rupa Goswami. And also he was the elder brother of Srila Rupa Goswami. So what happened? One time, Rupa Goswami, both of whom, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, both of them had received their instructions from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu instructed them, Krishna Tattva, Krishna Bhakti, Seva Pravartan, Lupta Tirtha, Uddhara Ar, Vairagya Shikshan. You go to Vrindavan and perform these 5 missions. What are the 5 missions? Krishna Prem. Explain what is Krishna Prem through your books. Krishna Prema, Krishna Tattva, and explain not only about what is Krishna Prem, but what is Krishna Tattva, how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Through your books, you write books, and through your bhajan, through your chanting, you teach people how to attain Krishna Prem. So, Krishna Prema, Krishna Tattva, Seva Pravartan, and you establish deities there and perform Shri Vigraha Seva Pravartan, and teach the world how deity worship should be performed. What is the standard of performing deity worship? You teach that in Vrindavan. Lupta Tirtha Uddhar. All the holy places of pilgrimage that over time have become unmanifest, have disappeared from external vision. You Lupta Tirtha, Lupta means hidden. Lupta Tirtha Uddhar. You again manifest them, you remanifest them. You renovate the lost holy places and make them visible to the whole world in Vrindavan. Lost holy places, Keshi Ghat, Kalia Ghat, all these places. Radhakund, Shamkund, Mahaprabhu himself had discovered. But there are so many other places. Please find them and make them manifested. So Lupta Tirtha Uddhara are and Vairagya Shiksha. And you teach the world through your example how a person in the renounced order of life, a sannyasi or a brahmachari or a babaji, how they are supposed to be. How they should wear kopin, how they should sleep under different trees, how they should subsist on just madhukari, begging some food grains, how they should be completely detached from wealth and family, opposite sex, everything. How eating and sleeping also has to be controlled. Nidra ahara vihara kadi vijitau chatyanta dinau chayau. Nidra, sleep, has to be controlled. not controlled, has to be conquered. Vijita. Vijay means to conquer. Nidra, ahar means eating, sleeping, eating. Vihar, recreation has to be given up. Nidra, ahar, vihar, ka adi, and other things. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending, all those things have to be given up. Completely conquered. Nidra, hara, vihara, kadi, vijitau. Vijitau means completely conquered. Goswami. Swami, complete mastery over eating, sleeping, mating, defending, recreation. Nidrahara vihara kadi vijitau. And what happens when we control all these things? We can become very hard-hearted, or we can become very proud. Chatyanta deenau chayau. But still, you must remain very humble. Deen. You must remain very humble. And the Goswamis were like that. Although they are completely self-controlled. They had conquered all their senses. They were true Goswamis in the real sense of the term, but still they were very humble. Very humble. Atyanta Deena. So this is what Mahaprabhu wanted Sanatan Goswami to do. Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they came to Vrindavan, and Sanatan Goswami was a spiritual master of Srila Rupa Goswami. So to fulfill the purpose that Mahaprabhu had told, that go and write books on the science of Krishna consciousness, both of them were writing. Srila Sanatan Goswami wrote Hari Bhakti Vilas, huge book, many volumes. Then he wrote Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which is 3 volumes. He wrote the Brihad Vaishnava Toshni commentary on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. I have all 3 books, all 3 scripts, shastras. So Brihad Bhagavatamrita is by the BBT. It is Gopi Pranjan Prabhu's translation, and His Holiness Bhanu Maharaj, he has given us the full translation of the Brihad Vaishnava Toshni, 10th canto commentary of Srila Sanatan Goswami. And Hari Bhakti Vilas, I think Bhumipati Prabhu has translated. It's right here. I don't know how many volumes are there. I think there are 12 volumes. I may be wrong, but there are many volumes. So Hari Bhakti Vilas is there by Srila Sanatan Goswami. It teaches us how to become devotees, how to do puja, how to observe Ekadashi, how to observe Janmashtami. You know, we have all these rules: fasting till midnight, no eating grains on Janmashtami. We should bathe the Lord at midnight. Where we are getting all these things, all this information from? How to observe Ekadashi, how to do parikrama, how to do puja, how to do achaman, how to worship Shaligram Shila. Everything is coming from Hari Bhakti Vilas. Sanatan Goswami is Hari Bhakti Vilas. He extracted the essence from Vishnu Puran, Padma Puran, Skanda Puran, from all the Vedic Vedas, everywhere. 4 Vedas, Upanishads, everywhere he compiled the essence of all knowledge. And also what Mahaprabhu taught him for 2 months in Varanasi, he combined that. Also, when for 10 months he was living with Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri at Siddha Bakul with Haridas Thakur, every morning a Mahaprabhu would come bringing the Upala Bhog Prasadam, Jagannath Prasad for them, and then would sit, and for an hour or 2 hours, Mahaprabhu would instruct Sanatan Goswami and Haridas Thakur. So all those instructions that he got, how to chant Gayatri Mantra, what should be the how should our japa mala be? Everything Sanatan Goswami explained, that the beads should be smaller on one end, bigger on the other end. You see how our beads become smaller and then they get bigger? It is from Hari Bhakti Vilas. Sanatan Goswami writes, we should keep our bead bag in our bead. We should keep our beads in our bead bag. Who says that? Sanatan Goswami in Hari Bhakti Vilas. He says that we should never expose our beads. We should never speak the name of Shri Guru without joining our hands and bowing our head. Like whoever our Diksha Guru is, we should never say the name of Diksha Guru, so and so Swami. No, we should say so and so, Srila so and so Swami, like that. Always fold your hands together, bow your head down, and then say the name of Shri Guru. If at all you have to say, but generally we should avoid speaking about one's Guru. We should not show one's bead bag. One should never chant the Gayatri Mantra loudly. The Nija Mantra that we get, we should never speak it loudly. And whoever is our Ishtadev, we should not talk too much. That my Ishtadev is, we should not talk. We should keep 4 things secret. Gopya. We should keep 4 things secret. Our spiritual master, our Japamala, our Ishtadev, and the Nija Mantra that we have received. Gopaya Devatam Ishtam Gopayo Gurumatmana Gopayo Nijamantrani Gopayo Nijamalika. These four things have to I don't remember the verse exactly, but that's how the verse is approximately. We should keep these four things very confidential. So all this is coming from Sanatan Goswami's Hari Bhakti Vilas. So Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, both of them were writing books. And they would come and they would meet and talk, exchange what they have written, relish each other's writings. So one day Sanatan Goswami, he came to Govinda Kund. We all know where Govinda Kund is, right next to Govardhan. So Rupa Goswami was staying at Govinda Kund at that time, and he was writing I think, Stavamala, a beautiful composition of songs and ashtakams. Our Yamuna Ashtakam that we chant every morning comes from there. So Rupa Goswami was writing, and in one particular song, Srila Rupa Goswami was describing the beautiful hair of Srimati Radharani. And Srila Rupa Goswami wrote that the beautiful braided hair of Srimati Radharani are black, shiny, lustrous, like a snake. Hare Krishna. So Srila Rupa Goswami showed this composition to Srila Sanatan Goswami. And Srila Sanatan Goswami, when he read that, he said, this doesn't seem to be appropriate. Rupa Goswami, how can you compare the soft, blackish, shiny, lustrous, beautiful hair of Srimati Radharani with a serpent, with a snake? Because snake represents death. In poetry, in literature, generally snake represents death. Parikshit Maharaj was bitten by a snake because snake represents death. Even Srimati Lakshmi Priya Devi, it is said that she was bitten by the snake of separation from Sriman Mahaprabhu. So we say Kala Sarpa. So death is often the metaphor used as snake. Snake represents death. So how can you compare Srimati Radharani's braided hair to snake or snakes? I think you should use a better analogy than a snake. Snake doesn't seem right. How can we compare our beautiful, our Radharani's hair to a snake? What will people think? They will misunderstand. So Srila Rupa Goswami said, thank you for your feedback, my dear Sanatan Goswami. So please suggest what I should write instead. So Sanatan Goswami said, I can't think of anything right away, but let me think about it. And you also think about it. Let me go to Govinda Kund, take my snan. It was afternoon time. Let me do my take my afternoon bath in Govinda Kund. Then we'll come and we'll discuss more. Saying this, Sanatan Goswami took leave of Rupa Goswami and he went to Govinda Kund to take his bath. As Sanatan Goswami went to Govinda Kund, he saw some girls were bathing there, gopis, some young girls. He thought they were some village girls. Sanatan Goswami was Babaji, very renounced. He saw those young girls bathing in Govinda Kund. So he decided to look away. But he noticed that there was a snake climbing up the back of a gopi and going to her head. So out of concern, Sanatan, for those young girls, Sanatan Goswami, who was quite elderly, he panicked. He was very concerned. What's going to happen? I hope this snake doesn't bite that poor girl. Because see, generally speaking, there are some water snakes that are much more venomous. Their venom is much more deadlier than even a king cobra. In India, cobra is a very poisonous snake. Cobra, viper, crate. These three are the main venomous snakes found in India. But more poisonous than these terrestrial snakes are some water snakes. So Sanatan Goswami saw a water snake climbing up the back of a little girl. So Sanatan Goswami felt very concerned, very alarmed, and in a panic he started running towards that girl. and said, Lali, Lali, Lali. Lali is in Braj Bhasha, it's a way of addressing young girls. Lali, Lali, run, run, there's a snake, the snake on your head. And that Lali, that girl, she just turned around, looked at Sanatan Goswami, smiled, and then she just flipped her hair like this, her braid. It was not a snake, it was her hair. And she disappeared. She smiled at Sanatan Goswami and she disappeared. And when Sanatan Goswami saw her, he immediately recognized her to be Srimati Radharani. He immediately recognized that Gopi to be Srimati Radharani. Why? Because Sanatan Goswami was self-realized. All these self-realized acharyas, they have seen Radha and Krishna. They have had darshan of Radha and Krishna. I have heard from great souls that one should not become a guru, one should not become a Diksha Guru unless and until one has had darshan of Krishna. One has had darshan of Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord. That is the ideal standard. Completely self-realized devotee should become guru. So Sanatan Goswami recognized that Lali as Srimati Radharani. Why? Because previously Sanatan Goswami had seen Radha and Krishna. He had seen Radha Krishna Leela. Therefore, Narottama Thakur writes that may this eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna always be spurit, always be manifested in my heart. Narottama dasa koy nitya leela sukhamoy sadai spuruka moramani. So Narottama Thakur has seen Radha and Krishna. We are told that Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, Om Vishnupad Paramhams Parivrajak Acharya Shtottar Shata Shri Srimad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, he had only one disciple in India before he came to the West. And that also he had only given Harinam Diksha, not Brahman, not Gayatri Diksha, not Mantra. There is Nam Diksha and there is Mantra Diksha. So Mantra Diksha is Gayatri, where 7 different confidential mantras are given. And 4 of them are Gayatri mantras. There is the Guru Gayatri, there is the Gaur Gayatri, there is the Brahma Gayatri, and there is the Kam Gayatri. There are 3 other mantras, 2 Bij mantras and 1 Gopal mantra. Total 7 mantras are given during time of Mantra Diksha. And then there is Harinam Diksha. Srila Prabhupada had given Harinam Diksha to Acharya Prabhakar, his first disciple, Indian disciple. And then Srila Prabhupada came to West and then he started initiating. So this disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Acharya Prabhakar, he later on told that in Jhansi, where Srila Prabhupada had established League of Devotees, we will all remember from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit that there was a League of Devotees that Srila Prabhupada had established in Jhansi. And over there, Srila Prabhupada was trying very hard to preach and to bring people to Krishna consciousness. And it was Janmashtami day. And Srila Prabhupada nobody came. Hare Krishna. Nobody came. And Acharya Prabhakar says that I was his only disciple. And Srila Prabhupada wanted me to help him so much in spreading the mission of Srila Prabhupada's Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. But I was not competent. I couldn't help. I was actually an intellectual and I wanted some transcendental knowledge. That's why I accepted Srila Prabhupada as my Guru. But I was not really surrendered to him. I did not want to give up everything and go with him and serve him. So he said, I was sleeping. It was Janmashtami. And he said, around 10 o'clock, I slept off. He was living with his Gurudev, with Srila Prabhupada. At that time, of course, he was just A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. His god brothers in Gaudiya Math would call him Swami Maharaj, because the sannyas name that he got was Swami. Bhakti Vedanta was a title given to him by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, one of his very illustrious god brothers. His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. In Calcutta, when he was a Grihastha, when Srila Prabhupada was Grihastha, he got the title Bhakti Vedanta. He was so learned, so devotional. So Bhakti Vedanta, and AC is Abhay Charana Arvinda. That is the name he got at the time of his initiation. So Srila Prabhupada was born Abhay. Abhay Babu, Abhay Charan De. Abhay Charan was his first name and De was his last name. When he got initiation, first and second initiation same time, Srila Prabhupada got from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So Saraswati Thakur gave him the name. Abhay Charan became Abhay Charanaravinda Das. Then when he was a Grihastha and seeing his great learning, after the disappearance of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada's godbrothers, they gave him the title Bhakti Vedanta. So he became A.C. Bhakti Vedanta. And when it got sannyas from Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj in Vrindavan Dham, he was given the name Swami. So he became A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. And because sannyasi, Maharaj, Swami Maharaj. So his sannyas name in short was Swami Maharaj. So when he was in Jhansi doing some preaching, nobody came on Janmashtami. And he had only one disciple, Acharya Prabhakar, and he also slept around 10:30. And Janmashtami is celebrated at midnight. So Srila Prabhupada, in that League of Devotees building that Prabhupada was renting, he was the only one. And there was a deity of Krishna on the altar. And Srila Prabhupada was the only devotee there doing kirtan. So around 12:30 a.m., half an hour after midnight or something like that, Acharya Prabhakaran, he heard loud dancing sound that came from the temple hall. And a divine fragrance was there. Acharya Prabhakaran said, I have never experienced such wonderful, transcendental, divine fragrance. So I immediately got up and I ran into the temple hall. And I saw that Srila Prabhupada was there alone, dancing. And Srila Prabhupada was wearing a big Kadamba flower garland from Vrindavan. It came all the way from his neck down to almost to the floor. Huge Kadamba garland. And Srila Prabhupada was alone dancing, Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna, Ha Krishna. So I offered my obeisances. I asked him, Gurudev, what happened? Where is this divine fragrance coming from? And why are you dancing? And he described that tears were just streaming down Srila Prabhupada's eyes. And he asked Prabhupada, what happened to you? Gurudev, tell me what happened. At that time, Srila Prabhupada revealed to him the truth. How can you lie on Janmashtami? And that also a disciple is asking. Srila Prabhupada said that Krishna gave me darshan. So I was sitting here doing kirtan all alone for Krishna on Janmashtami. And Prabhupada said, I was feeling some love for Krishna. And immediately Krishna manifested. And he gave his garland to me. In Jhansi, where will a Kadamba garland come in the middle of the night in Jhansi? So this is Srila Prabhupada. Our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada is not an ordinary devotee who just was a businessman, gave up his business, went to the West and got lucky and became successful. No. Srila Prabhupada is Senapati Bhakta of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Srila Prabhupada does kirtan, Lord Brahma, Narad Muni are in attendance. Why? Please have faith in my words. Because Srila Prabhupada is from Goloka Vrindavan and even Lord Brahma and Narad Muni are not from Goloka Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada's position is superior. Please have faith in these words. Srila Prabhupada's position, Srila Prabhupada's stature is superior to all the Devarshis, all the Saptarshis, all the demigods. Yes. And the Praman is Srila Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatam. The proof is the story of Gopakumar. And these are not my words. These are the words of His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj in his book Jaya Prabhupada. It is one of the best books I have read in my life. If you can get a copy, please read. Jaya Prabhupada by His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj. You will go mad. And in that book, he writes, he copy pastes certain Vyas Puja offerings as it is. And one Vyas Puja offering is by Guru Das Prabhu, one of the 6 devotees that Srila Prabhupada sent to London to establish the London congregation. That offering of Guru Das Prabhu is so funny, it is so hilarious, and it is so charming. Please read that offering. Vyas Puja offering to Srila Prabhupada by Guru Das Prabhu, as quoted in His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj's brilliant, beautiful, magnificent, small little book called Jaya Prabhupada. These are not my words. Srila Bhakti Vikas Maharaj establishes how Srila Prabhupada's position is way superior to all the devatas. Because Srila Prabhupada is very, very dear, intimate associate in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan of Radha Govinda. Even Narad Muni, Lord Brahma have no entrance there. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Aham vedmi shuko vetti, vyaso vetti na vetti va, bhaktya bhagavatam grayam, na budhya na cha tikaya. This verse written by Lord Shiva himself in his ecstasy, quoted in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. It was written to sign the commentary, the not Subodhini commentary by Sripad Vallabhacharya, but the Bhagavatam commentary of Srila Sridhar Swami. It was certified by Lord Shiva with this verse, and this verse is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. In his ecstasy, Lord Shiva is saying, Aham Vedmi, I know Bhagavatam. As Gopeshwar Mahadev, as the Gopi, who got the mercy of Vrinda Devi and Radharani, as that Gopishwar Mahadev, he knows. I know. Aham Vedmi, Shuko Vedmi. Shukdev Goswami knows because he's a personal parrot of Srimati Radharani. Keeps him on her hand and teaches him. Chant Krishna. Say Sham. So Shukdev Goswami understands. He's Radharani's man. Radharani's bird. I understand. I am Radharani's Gopi, maid servant. I am Gopishwar Mahadev. I wear a sari in Vrindavan. Even today, if you go to Gopeshwar Mahadev, that Shivlingam is dressed in sari. He has a female face. So, Aham Vedmi, Lord Shiva is saying, I know Bhagavatam. Shukdev Goswami knows that Vyasdev, who sits in Badrikashram, Vyaso Vekti na Vektiva. There is a doubt whether Vyasdev himself understands Bhagavatam or not. Only a Brajvasi can understand Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada is a Brajvasi. All glories to Srila Vyasdev. Because Sanatana Goswami's disappearance is also Vyas Purnima. All glories to Vyasdev. But Vyasdev understood Bhagavatam when he came in Gaur Leela as Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. Haribol! By the mercy of Nitai, he understood. Nityananda Prabhu is Balramji, is Ananga Manjari. So Vyasdev also is happy. He also understood when he became Vrindavan Das Thakur. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada is not an ordinary guru, just some guru who got lucky or who became successful. Once a preacher told me, I was so pained in my heart. He told me that Srila Prabhupada to baniya the. Baniya means businessman. India mein bahut business kiya. He did a lot of business in India, pharmaceutical business, Prayag pharmacy, this, that. So he knew. And therefore he came to US and he acquired many churches and just got lucky and got big. Businessman. I was so hurt. After that, I have not associated with that devotee. Even when he calls me, I don't take his calls. Don't take his phone call. Completely left. He came to my house. Not my house, Krishna's house, but where I stay. He came and I invited him for prasad. And he spoke like this to me. Very senior to me. But after that, I completely disassociated with myself from him. We don't want to associate. You may be a great devotee. All glories to you, but I will not associate with you. If you cannot nourish my love, my attachment to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, who is the life and soul of my Guru Maharaj, I do not want to associate with you. I will not associate. You may be very great. You may be very great, but not with. I will not associate with you. I will associate with devotees. Tadera charana sevi bhakta sanebas janame janame moi eya bhilash. I will read Srila Bhakti Vikas Maharaj's books. I will read the books of Giriraj Maharaj. I'll build your temple. I'll read Srila Satsarup Maharaj's Prabhupada Lilamrit. I will read Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami's TKJ diary. Books that nourish my faith, my love, my attachment to Srila Prabhupada, who is my founder Acharya, who is my Param Guru. I will only associate with those people. Srila Prabhupada's position has to be understood, my dear friends. Sanatana Goswami was the guru of Srila Rupa Goswami. When he had that darshan of Srimati Radharani flicked her braid and he saw, oh, that's not a snake, that's Srimati Radharani's hair. He immediately recognized that Gopi is Radharani. Because Sanatana Goswami, just like our Srila Prabhupada, is a Tattvadarshi Guru. He has seen the truth. Sanatan Goswami came to Rupa Goswami and he embraced Rupa Goswami. He said, Rupa Goswami, you are so great. Your analogy is perfect. Your analogy is so perfect. And today Radharani taught me that whatever you write is perfect, Rupa Goswami. No correction, no editing is ever required for what you write. What you write is the praman. It is the proof. Don't change it. Keep it as it is. Yes, Radharani's braid looks like a snake. Hare Krishna. A very beautiful snake. Yeah. This was the interaction with Rupa Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was a disciple of Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami. Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami is Lalita Sakhi. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna both. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. For almost 18 years, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami lived in Nilachal, Sri Jagannath Puri Dham, with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar Goswami in Gambhira. He witnessed the entire Ante Leela of Mahaprabhu, specifically the last 12 years, which were very intense. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just disappeared. During Nam Sankirtan, he just entered the temple of Gopinath. He closed the door and was never seen again. Hare Krishna. Soon thereafter, Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, he could not live in separation from Sriman Mahaprabhu. So he also disappeared from this world. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was completely crestfallen. He had lost both Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar Goswami. Now all he had, two belongings. The Govardhan Shila, given to him personally by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Gunjamala. The Gunjamala is black, red, and white. Represent Srimati Radharani. And Govardhan Shila is Krishna. We know from Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna himself manifested as Govardhan and accepted all the offerings. So Giriraj is non-different from Krishna. Of course, we can see Govardhan as Balram, we can see Govardhan as Radharani also. We can see Govardhan as Krishna also. But Mahaprabhu saw Govardhan Shila as Krishna, Sham Sundar Krishna, and the Gunjamala as Radharani. And these two deities, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami worshipped the Govardhan Shila and the Gunjamala with all his heart and all his love. And now Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar Goswami left this world. So Raghunath Das Goswami thought Govardhan Shila never wants to leave Vrindavan. Giriraj was willing to be cursed by Paulatya Muni, but refused to leave Vrindavan. So I will return this. Till now, this Govardhan Shila was in Vrindavan. Why? Because wherever there is Mahaprabhu, there is Vrindavan. This is the conclusion of Sri Advaita Acharya. But now Mahaprabhu has disappeared from this world. He has finished his Prakata Leela, his manifested pastimes on this earth. So I will return Giriraj Shila to Vrindavan. Govardhan always wants to stay in Vrindavan. So I'll return this Govardhan Shila to Vrindavan. I'll return the Gunjamala to Vrindavan. Radha Krishna will return to their Vrindavan. And as far as I am concerned, I will climb on top of Govardhan and I will jump and give up my life. I cannot live in separation. Now 500 years ago, Govardhan was much taller. Every day, Giriraj shrinks by the size of a small mustard seed. So I will jump. Even today, there are some places in Vrindavan where it is almost 50, 60 feet high. So Das Goswami said, I will go and I will jump off and I will end my life. Raghunath Das Goswami thought. Thinking like this, he went from Jagannath Puri to Sri Vrindavan Dham. It is 1000 kilometers. He walked all alone, crying throughout the way, crying, shedding tears of love and separation. When he came to Sri Vrindavan Dham, he met Srila Sanatan Goswami. Remember, the topic of our discussion is Srila Sanatan Goswami's interactions with different Goswamis in Vrindavan. So Raghunath Das Goswami comes and he meets Srila Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami is so happy to meet Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Because Sanatan Goswami knew that it is Mahaprabhu's desire that all 6 of us should be in Vrindavan and serve and fulfill the mission, the 5-pointed mission that was given. But Raghunath Das Goswami was inconsolable. He said, Goswami ji, I have to end my life. I cannot bear to live. I am burning. This body that you see is on fire. I am burning in separation. There is Viraha Agni. Viraha Agni. I am burning in separation. Please let me end my life. Sanatan Goswami held the hand of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. He said, please don't commit suicide. Raghunath Das Goswami says, no, leave me, please let me go. I cannot live. Don't try to convince me to live. I cannot live. I have decided. That's the reason I came to Vrindavan, to return the Govardhan Shila to Govardhan and to commit suicide. I cannot live. Srila Sanatan Goswami told Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, my dear Raghunath, even I wanted to commit suicide. What? You wanted to commit suicide also? Yes. In fact, I came to Jagannath Puri to commit suicide. My whole body was covered with a rash, ulcer, bleeding, pus, foul smell. It was not getting cured. It was not healing. I decided I will come to Jagannath Puri. I will take darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. During Rath Yatra, I will take darshan of Jagannath. And then under the wheels of the chariot of Jagannath, I will throw myself and I will commit suicide. But you know what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told me? I did not even reveal my plans to him. But he is Sarvagya. He is Antaryami. He knows all our thoughts, all our desires. He found out. And on his own, he came to me and told me one day, Sanatan, give up your thoughts of suicide. One can never attain Krishna by committing suicide. If one could attain Krishna by committing suicide, I would commit suicide millions and millions of times without a second thought. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatan Goswami. But it is not by committing suicide that you can attain Krishna. It is only by bhajan that one can attain Krishna. Only by bhajan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. One who does bhajan is great. One who does bhajan will get Krishna. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told me, Sanatan Goswami says, Bhajanera madhya shrestha nava vidha bhakti Krishna prema Krishna dite dhare maha shakti. Bhajan, do bhajan. By bhajan only we can get Krishna. And what is bhajan? Bhajanera madhya shrestha nava vidha bhakti. In bhajan, these 9 processes, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. These 9 processes of bhakti are the best. There are 64 limbs, but these 9 are the best. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatan Goswami, Bhajanera madhya shrestha nava vidha bhakti. And what is the effect of practicing nava vidha bhakti? Hearing, chanting, deity worship. Krishna prema, you get Krishna prema. Krishna dite, and you will get Krishna. You will get Krishna prema and you will get Sakshat Krishna. Krishna prema, Krishna dite, dhare maha shakti. It's very powerful processes, 9 processes. So don't commit suicide, Sanatan. Do bhajan. And then, knowing that suicide will be displeasing to Mahaprabhu, I gave up my idea of committing suicide. And I did intense bhajan. And by Mahaprabhu's mercy, later on, I was cured. Therefore, my dear Raghunath, please don't displease Mahaprabhu by committing suicide. It is easy to die in separation from Mahaprabhu. But it is more difficult to live and serve in separation from Mahaprabhu. At that time, Sanatan Goswami preached to Raghunath Das Goswami about Vipralamba Seva, love in separation. It is easy to give up one's life in separation, but it is more difficult and it is a higher sacrifice to live in separation from Krishna, to serve Krishna. Why didn't Srimati Radharani and the gopis give up their life when Krishna left? Living in separation from Krishna was more painful than death, millions of times. But why did Srimati Radharani not give up her life in separation from Krishna. Because Krishna said, I will come back. So when Krishna comes back, we should all be there to serve him, to make him happy. Vrindavan should be as it was when Krishna left. So we have to maintain Vrindavan for Krishna's pleasure. And we have to be here for Krishna's pleasure. Because our life is meant to give pleasure to Krishna. So Krishna says he'll come back to meet us. We cannot die. Why did Draupadi not give up her life when Dushasan touched her? We know in Ramayana there is a story, there was a very great ascetic lady called Vedavati. And Ravan saw her practicing asceticism on the peaks of the Himalayan mountains and immediately descended in his Pushpak Viman, Pushpak airplane. And he came and proposed to that ascetic lady. You are so beautiful. What are you doing here performing tapasya in the middle of this forest? She said, I have accepted Lord Vishnu as my husband and I am performing these austerities, this bhajan to get him as my husband. So please go away. Don't disturb me. I cannot even look at you. Ravan was so infatuated by lust, he went and he grabbed her hair and said, either you accept me as your husband or I will take you by force. That lady, Vedavati, she immediately gave up her hair. So all Ravan was holding was her bunch of hair. She extricated herself from the grip of Ravan and immediately by chanting a mantra, she gave up her body. And the fire element in her body increased and her whole body was burned to ashes. Not just a heap of ashes was left behind. So Draupadi Devi also was no less an ascetic. Draupadi Devi was also born from fire. She didn't have an ordinary birth like us. She manifested from fire, from yajna. She had the power to chant a mantra and give up her body. When Dushasan polluted her by touching, Dushasanena Rita Vastra Kesha. Dushasan touched her hair and her vastra, her sari, single cloth sari, single piece sari that day. Draupadi also wanted to give up her life. Now I have been touched by this rascal, this lusty man. My body is polluted. I will give up my body. She could have, but she did not. Why? Because the whole world would have criticized Krishna, that Krishna failed to protect his divinity. Krishna's promise, Kaunteya pratijani name bhakta pranashyati. So Draupadi says this. When Dushasan was trying to humiliate her, she said, Pratigya tava govinda name bhakta pranashyati iti samsmritya pranam dharyam yamaham. She says, Pratigya tava Govinda. Hey Govinda, it is your promise. Name bhakta pranashyati. My devotee will never be defeated. My devotee will never perish. Iti samsmritya. I am again and again remembering this promise of yours. It's an eternal promise. Even before Bhagavad Gita was spoken, Draupadi knew this is the eternal promise of my Krishna. Pratigya tava Govinda name bhakta pranashyati iti samsmritya. I am remembering again and again this promise of yours. Pranam dharyam. And I am holding on to my prana. I am not letting my prana escape this body. My prana vayu. I am holding on to my prana. Because I don't want anyone to criticize you that you failed to protect Draupadi. So Draupadi did not die. Radharani did not die. Vishnu Priya Devi did not die. Vishnu Priya Devi could have given up her body and her Nimai Vishwambar left her and took sannyas. But she lived because she knew that there is a mission for me. I have to bless Jiva Goswami. I have to bless Vamshivadan Thakur. I have to bless Srinivas Acharya. She knew she has a mission. So she lived on, crying in separation from Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One grain of rice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. One grain of rice. Like that, she would chant several lakh names every day. At the end of the day, whatever little rice was collected, she would cook it and offer it to Prana Vallabh Mahaprabhu, the deity that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu self-manifested from his heart and gave to Vishnu Priya Devi on the night when he took sannyas. Before leaving, he gave that gift to Vishnu Priya Devi. I will stay with you in the form of my deity. So she would offer that cooked rice to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then she would distribute it to Shashi Mata and to other devotees, other Ishan and Vamshivadan Thakur and other devotees. And then whatever remained, few morsels she would eat. That's how she survived. Serving in separation, Vipralamba Seva, is higher than committing suicide. It's easy to die in separation from Mahaprabhu, my dear Raghunath Das Goswami, but it is more difficult and it is higher service to live in separation from Mahaprabhu and serve the mission of Mahaprabhu. You have witnessed the Antya Leela of Mahaprabhu. We don't know what happened in Jagannath Puri last 12 years. Please stay here. Stay near Govardhan. Radha Kund and Shyam Kund are the two eyes of Govardhan. And therefore, they're always filled with tears. Even the water is salty. Radha Kund and Shyam Kund. You stay on the banks of Radha Kund. And every evening, we will come to Radha Kund. And we will hear from you Gaur Katha. Talk about the Antya Leela of Mahaprabhu. Talk about the notes of Swarup Damodar Goswami that you have read. We have not read. Please talk about Mahaprabhu. And please stay alive and keep us alive with your Harikatha. Das Goswami said, yes, I promise you, I will live. I will not commit suicide. I will stay on the banks of Radha Kund, and every evening I will speak the holy. I will speak the Antya Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, they would all come and listen. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, they would all come and listen. Jiva Goswami was not there yet. He came later. But these four Goswamis would sit and listen from the fifth Goswami, Shri Das Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. And sitting also in the audience was an old man, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And he would take notes. And what he heard from Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, that, my dear friends, is our Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami heard the entire Chaitanya Leela by the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu from Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. But who saved the life of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami? It was our Sanatana Goswami. So we would not have had Chaitanya Charitamrita had it not been for Srila Sanatana Goswami's counseling. So that was Rupa Goswami. That was Raghunath Das Goswami. I wanted to speak about Srila Jiva Goswami also, but we have already run out of time. Maybe some other time. But I would like to read one verse that Srila Raghunath Das Goswami composed after this interaction with Srila Sanatana Goswami, our Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami, who owed his life to Srila Sanatana Goswami. He wrote this beautiful verse. I will read this verse and then we'll conclude, my dear friends. Vairagya yug bhakti rasam prayatnair apayayanamamanabhep sumandham kripam budhirya paradokha dokhi sanatanastam prabhumashrayami. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami is writing, Vairagya Yuga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnae. Apayayan. I was unwilling to drink the rasam, the nectar of Vairagya Yuga Bhakti. Bhakti with renunciation is nectar. My dear friends, there is real nectar in renunciation. Real nectar, real happiness is not in enjoying. Real happiness is in Vairagya. And this has to be experienced. This cannot be understood theoretically. But one who is a real Vairagi, you see the boundless bliss that they experience. There is joy in Brahmacharya. There is not joy in sense gratification. This has to be experienced. Vairagya, renunciation with bhakti is the highest bliss. Is the highest bliss. So we'll read on. So Srila Raghunatha Goswami is saying, I was unwilling to drink the nectar of Vairagya Bhakti. Vairagya Yug Bhakti Rasam Prayatnair Apayayan. I was unwilling, Mam, Anabhep Sumandham. And I was in a blind well, andham, blind well of ignorance. Kripam budhirya paradukha dukhi. But seeing me in a blind well, fallen down, you are paradukha dukhi, Sanatan Goswami. Seeing me, because your heart was melting in love and compassion for me, and you are kripam budhir, you are ocean of mercy. Sanatanastam prabhumashrayami. I take shelter of you, my dear Sanatan Goswami. You pulled me out of the well and put me in the ocean of Krishna Prem. And you gave me the rasa, the taste of Vairagya Bhakti. Bhakti, love to Krishna, with detachment, with renunciation of sense gratification, mundane sense gratification. So this is the verse written by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami as an offering to Srila Sanatana Goswami. And now we'll conclude by adding our beloved founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. He offered this same verse that was offered to Sanatana Goswami by Raghunath Das Goswami. Our Srila Prabhupada offered this same verse with little modification to his sannyas guru, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, in 1968 in a lecture in Seattle. You can find this lecture. It's not very long. I think it's only 10 minutes. Srila Prabhupada's lecture at ISKCON Seattle in 1968. His offering to Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj was 2 years younger than Srila Prabhupada. He was the god brother of Srila Prabhupada, but he was a lifelong Naishtik Brahmachari and he was sannyasi. So Srila Prabhupada took sannyas from Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj in Sri Vrindavan Dham. And in 1968, Srila Prabhupada was in Seattle when he got the news that his beloved god brother and his sannyas guru, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, has departed from this world. Srila Prabhupada cried in separation from his beloved god brother and composed a verse in his honor. And it was this verse. Srila Prabhupada was putting himself in the position that even I did not want to take sannyas. But my god brother, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, he literally convinced me and forced me, dragged me that no, you must take sannyas. You must take sannyas. And he gave me sannyas, made me Swami Maharaj. Therefore, my dear god brother, I am very grateful to you. And today I am remembering you with gratitude and I am shedding tears of love in separation. Vipralambha Seva. This is the heart of Srila Prabhupada. He offered this beautiful verse to his sannyas guru when his sannyas guru departed from this world and sent that composition to Keshavji Gaudiya Math in Mathura. So with this, my dear friends, I will stop. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Sanatan Goswami ki jai, Sri Shad Goswami Pad ki jai, our most beloved Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanand. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So if there are any questions or comments, we can take maybe one question very quickly because I have to go.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it's not a question. Just to add on what you said about Srila Prabhupada, his greatness and who he is, we don't know, but there's a confirmation in the Srimad Bhagavatam Mahatmya Puran. If we go back in time, just when Krishna left this world, and one day Narad Muni was traveling and seeing a very beautiful lady sitting and has two old men next to her. And he approached her and asked, "Who are you, lady?" And she said, "I am Bhakti Devi. Actually, this is my two sons, is Vairagya, Gyan and Vairagya. And they are becoming old because in Kali Yuga just started already, they are losing their life. This is an analogy because in Kali Yuga there is no Gyan and Vairagya. Okay, fast forward quickly, just to come to the point. And then she said that, how bhakti, how will I live in this Kali Yuga? And then there's more conversation, but just to go fast. Narad Muni said, I vow that in Kali Yuga, I will ensure that bhakti will survive without Gyan and Vairagya. And of course, bhakti will bring Gyan and Vairagya forward, your two sons. And he said, if I don't do that, then I will not be known as a devotee of Hari. And I vow that I will make this happen. And then the story, the rest you know. Even Chaitanya Prabhu make it happen, but not globally. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that, oh, very soon this will happen. And Bhaktisiddhanta came to bring it alive. And then Prabhupada came. And even when Prabhupada was here, several times, even there was nobody around, Prabhupada said, Narad Muni is here. And bring a chair for him. Some devotee don't understand what a chair for whom, there's nobody here. Then he will tell them Narad Muni is here. That what I'm trying to say is, even Srila Prabhupada was here, nobody could see. Even Narad Muni has make his promise come true, because Narad Muni make a vow that this will happen. And Narad Muni has never leave Srila Prabhupada alone. All the time he was with him. I just want to say that.
Thank you very much, dear Sarangpur. Hare Krishna, very grateful to you. A nice comment. So we have two questions. So Rashmi Mataji, please go ahead. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me. You can unmute Mataji. No.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. It was very nice. Prabhu, my question is, as we know, this Chaturmas has started, right? So we all have to increase our bhajan and, all that. So my question is, how can we improve our quality of our sadhana, Prabhu? Like, for example, chanting, we know, like Prabhupada says, always just whenever you chant every mantra, you hear every single word of your mantra, right? We practice, we try to, at least I'm trying to do that. When I do, again, after a few mantras or one round or two round, I again, we forget, again, then I remember and I chant. But is there any way we can improve the quality, Prabhu? Some tips will definitely help during this Chaturmas. We can practice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Rashmi Mataji. So this is actually a very extensive topic, how to increase the quality of our japa. But I will just give very small points. So one is, we cannot chant quality rounds. We cannot chant quality rounds. But if Krishna is pleased with us, Krishna will make us chant quality rounds. So it is the experience of devotees that when we behave nicely, we are not envious, we don't get angry, we are humble, we serve devotees. When we sit down to chant, automatically the name, holy name is so merciful to us, automatically we are able to focus very well. We are able to focus very well. But when we have offended devotees, or if we have not followed the principles of Krishna consciousness properly, we may sit during Brahma Muhurta. We may take a nice cold shower, put on 12 places tilak and wear dhoti kurta or sari, sit on an asan in the association of devotees. We are well rested, 6 hours of sleep, and we start chanting, but still our mind will not focus. So the conclusion is, we cannot chant good quality rounds. We can try to chant good quality rounds, but good chanting comes from Krishna. It is a descending process. And Krishna will, as the holy name, he will manifest in our heart, on our tongue, in our consciousness, if we have pleased Krishna. In the remaining 22 hours. So 2 hours we are chanting. But in the remaining 22 hours, if we have behaved nicely, which means we have eaten only Krishna Prasad. We have not watched anything on the internet or on the screen that we should not watch. We have not criticized any devotees. We have engaged ourselves in Vaishnava Seva, Guru Seva, Sadhu Seva. when we sit down and we genuinely are well wishers of everyone, we don't have hard feelings towards anyone. We want everyone to be happy. We want everyone to be fully Krishna conscious and perfect their lives and go back home, back to Godhead. We are not inimical to anyone. Adveshta sarva bhutanam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Adveshta sarva bhutanam. Maitra karuna evacha. So if we are friendly to all and we are adveshta, we are not inimical towards anyone, we are not envious of anyone, Krishna will reciprocate like anything. It's a state of consciousness. If we have that consciousness, we will be chanting on an aeroplane, or we could be chanting in a noisy train, or we could be chanting in the lunch break room in our office. The chanting will be with such good quality and depth. The holy name will not leave our mind because it is the mercy of the holy name. Now the holy name is pleased with us. Holy name doesn't want to leave us. So we have to be careful in the remaining 22 hours. Are we remembering Hare Krishna Mahamantra? We should chant constantly. 2 hours, at least 2 hours, we are sitting and chanting. But remaining time while cooking, while bathing, while wearing clothes, while brushing our teeth, in our mind, we must keep chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Whatever activity we are doing, we should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in our mind. Then when we sit down for japa, the quality will be very good. And we have to be careful of these things. No eating anything that is not Krishna Prasad. We will not die. We will not die. We feel, oh, there is nothing now. No, just skip it. It's okay. Ekadashi, anyway, we know how to do Nirjal. Nothing happens if we don't eat for 24 hours. So we have to be very careful about these things. And if we are careful, then when we sit down to chant, Krishna will be so pleased that he will reveal himself in the form of his holy name. Okay? So, is that okay, Rashi Mataji? I really have to go now, but I would love to spend more time with all of you. Chirayu Prabhu, I will connect with you privately. Please forgive me, I have to go. But thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
His
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Nityananda Prabhu ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna.
Ki jai.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Jai